Namaste, beautiful family of light. Namaste, namaste to our beautiful light workers that are on Facebook Live or whenever that feed comes into the eternal now. And also to our beautiful, beautiful light workers that are currently on Zoom, as well as the beautiful light workers who are here at the Cosmic Center Spiritual Light, which is located in Sarasota, Florida. So, as I've been mentioning, we had this amazing experience in Arizona. There was two events that took place. One was the Academy of Future Science, and that is with the Keys of Enoch. That's Dr. J.J. Hurtak, his wife Desiree. For those of you that are not familiar with that, if you research keysofenoch.org, it tells you the whole story from the 1970s and where Dr. Hurtak, who's a scholar, and especially in ancient languages, he had an experience with Enoch. You know, Enoch described in the Old Testament, and at a certain layer, because we are multidimensional beings, he came into an envelope or macabre, you could say, for him to get to where he was going, which was a full body experience, by the way. It wasn't a consciousness thing. His whole body was taken up, surrounded by macabre, as I understand it, into the throne worlds. And it's pretty much like the whole thing with Enoch and others that had talked about these mystical experiences that they had had. So that's a whole thing. I won't go into it. But one of the things they talk about, which is important for us to do, and what we do here at the Cosmic Center, is the utterances or the throat chakra vibrations. Okay, to remember that we are co-creators. And part of this is the names of God or aligning with those vibrations. They are very, very powerful. And for a long time, they've just been very hidden, that not much out there. You know, we don't want this to be abused. But we do the names of God on our Sunday services, also on Monday in our anchoring light. You know, we do that here, especially as we're holding the vision for world peace and just lifting the vibration of the planet. So there's a couple things I want to talk about just very briefly before we do start our meditation. And by the way, for those of you that do see this, if you're not part of the meditation, you're invited to. It's open to the public. Just go on the Facebook our page, Cosmic Center Spiritual Light Facebook page, and you will see the Anchoring Light Transmission Meditation that has been taking place for over 19 years, every Monday without fail. So it's a big deal, okay, as to why we're doing it, for you to come and share your light, because it is the upliftment, it is the raising of the vibration of our sacred planet. We have to get her raised back up, okay? And for whatever the fall, there's lots of stories regarding that. How and when that happened doesn't really matter at this point. The idea is that we've come together, whether it's a conscious or subconscious or unconscious level, that we sense that we're supposed to do something, that this is important, that we have a sense of mission and purpose here. And if that's how you feel, 100% yes, 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 especially as applied to that spiritual path or that soul pulse that you've always felt since you were a little kid, and or when you had an enlightenment or something that just kind of triggered that part of your beingness. It is important because it has everything to do with the divine plan. So I'm going to read right now. Many of you are familiar with this, which is known as the Great Invocation. That is the great work of Alice Bailey, that was part of Theosophy with Madame Blavatsky. There's always been what we call the Ascended Masters or the Great White Brotherhood, or there's many different names of it. But these are radiant beings that are very much involved in the planet, our evolution, and also our ascension. Okay, it's a multidimensional effort. So it's not just us, it's these beings. And at some point, in our journey, we realize that we are more than just this body, and we're actually connected to a myriad of energies, dimensions, realms, and other beings, angelics, what we perceive to be aliens. I mean, there's a whole cadre, okay? Ascended masters, saints, there's so much. Okay, so there's so much going in the invisible world. And at some point, we move beyond the limitation of our five senses, which is a physical encasement, because we have a spark of light that connects us to the Most High God, the divine, the monad, whichever you want to say, the source of all there is. We have that spark, and that is so important, okay, for us to remember that we hold that spark, whether you know it, don't know it, whether it comes through or not, it's there. It's there. And part of our mission, okay, and there's many different layers to this, but part of that is to ignite that flame that we hold, that flame or that fire, okay, that is connected to this light, which is our true origins. Okay, now, what I want to talk about very briefly is the idea that we are part of a divine plan. And the great invocation, which many of you may know this prayer, it's been around since right after World War II in the 1940s. And this came through, as I mentioned, Alice Bailey, the work of Madame Blavatsky, and Ascended Master Dwal Kul, also known as the Tibetan. Okay, these are radiant beings, not in physical form, but very connected to this group effort, okay, or this group mission, which is multidimensional in nature, of which we play a very important part. Okay, so it isn't like, oh, these radiant beings are here to help us and save us. No, no, no. It is a collective. They need us. And I've always said that we are the boots on the ground. We've come into the physical incarnation into these spacesuits, these Earth spacesuits, okay, to lift. And they have mentioned many times that the children of the earth who have not forgotten into these physical forms are the greatest alchemists, because we're pretty much dense compared to the pleroma, or what we have a sense of remembering, okay, that to bring from the 3D, the material world, and to rise and raise that into higher light vibrations is a great, what they say, alchemy. And if anybody has felt like down or depressed, no, you are applauded in myriad of dimensions and realms by many beings. Believe me, no one should have a self-esteem issue at all. Okay, so I'm going to read the Great Invocation. And a lot of times, what I want to tell everybody, sometimes you may see something, read something, you don't quite understand it, but you have a sense that, wow, I should not ignore it, even though I may not understand it 100%. And that's the small voice that we have to keep on listening to. Okay, because this is a pretty dense material world. And, the subtle energies, it takes a bit to get in. So we don't ignore that part of ourselves, okay, that is soft, but it's like you have to develop that. You have to give recognition that there's some part of you that is doing something. And even if you're busy and distracted, which the world is for it to be busy and distracted, okay, definitely. I always say, note to self, that happened. Even if I don't have the time to go into it, what was that? That spark of inspiration, or this little thing that's gnawing me to pay attention. I will, at the very minimum, say, note to self, that happened. And as you start to do this, what you are doing is you are developing your spiritual muscle. Just like a regular muscle, we have our spiritual muscle, that connection gets stronger and stronger once we what? Become aware of it, and we put attention to it. Okay, it's like a divine cosmic law. The more attention you put on something, intention you put on something, the stronger that connection is. So I'm going to read the Great Invocation, okay? And I'm going to read it because I read this many years ago. Who knows time anymore? But it's been decades. And I remember when I first read it, I did not really understand it, particularly what it said, the purpose, which the purpose no one serve. I'm like, well, what are they serving? Who are the masters? I'm going to read it again and I'm going to give a slight interpretation really quickly as to what this is, because we play a crucial role in all of this. And we have to wake up and remember. Remember. Okay, that's the goal here, is for us like, oh my gosh, I gotta remember. Okay, so I'm going to read it now. It's a great invocation. Many of you are very familiar with it. And for those of you that are not, just listen to this prayer. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. And when we say men, we're talking about on the highest level, there is no gender as such, but men meaning humanity. Okay. And this is the original interpretation, or the original of in the 1940s. Then it goes on to say, from the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. The key here, the energetic, the most powerful, okay, is love. It isn't any kind of like woo woo or, love in a romantic. No, it is an energy that emanates from the monad, the source, the one, whatever. And as we come farther away from it, it kind of gets a little corrupted, distorted, whatever. Okay, but it is love is the foundation. Okay. Then from the center where we call the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. And ideally, when we come to align ourselves with the will of God, which is love, okay, that's what it is. And then it says, from the center, which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Where's that? That's some distortion. That's the idea that is the antithesis of love, or the inversion of that, which we are in a world of duality, of polarity. And so we have both these things. And Jesus Christ had said, we are in the mixture. We are in the mixture. There's both. Okay. And then finally says, let light and love and power, and the word is restore the plan on earth. So that is something to think about. And there is a couple of things. I think there's not one explanation for everything, there's many layers. But the idea of the restoration senses, well, something happened, okay? And apparently there was a fall, the filament. You could go into Genesis, into other books that says whether it's a distortion that came as it moved away from the original light source. There's lots of explanation for it. But the idea now, okay, is that we are on our journey back to that ultimate creation, light, balance, wholeness, oneness, peace, love, kindness, diversity, knowing it's all one. That which we sense that's in our very DNA. We know this exists somewhere. Somewhere it does. And it has been a longing for many of us to get back to it, to get back and restore that, restore that. And in that sense, like, wow, I just sense this. There's something in me, and putting away all the distractions and following that, okay, is going to put you on your path to move the veils and start receiving what the Gnostics called as gnosis. Gnosis. It's direct knowing. It is now to bring in knowledge. It's knowledge, because guess what? Nothing or no one is coming as such to save us. We are part of the whole program with the Ascended Realms of Light, and we have our part to play. And our part to play is to wake up out of the dream. Okay, so important. Hi, Amara. This makes so excited to hear this. Yes, indeed. And bringing that up, I'll just mention when I came back, from Sedona and this amazing journey with Mary Magdalene, it was just amazing. So I can tell you, it's just a whole nother level. Came back very, very different. Okay, is that I am going to do a class. I don't do them too often, but I am so pulled to do this, and it's going to be, I think the name I have it as Forbidden Knowledge. Okay, what's been hidden? What's the agenda? Like, we don't want you guys to know you have this flame and how powerful you are. We want to keep that on the down low. Okay, we need to wake up and like, holy moly, I think I remember who I really am. And it's not this matrix as such. It has its role, but it's not the total of all of that. And so I believe I'm going to be doing it on the 22nd of May, May 22nd. Of course, look into our calendar. You'll see it. I'm going to do it both in person and online. I'm going to put a little disclaimer on there, I'm thinking, because some of this might be paradigm shifting for some people, what I'm going to share. But this gnosis, or this having this higher understanding, keeps on popping up ever so often throughout history because you cannot keep the truth buried forever. You just can't. That truth is going to keep on bubbling up. So I just want to say there's really some exciting times. Okay, we've chosen to be here. Okay, we are on the front lines, and when you remember who you are, you move through this life, okay, fearlessly. Okay, you do not fall into the trap of the program. Okay, and it is now really for all of us here to say we're in a cycle to where we could really make this ascension happen, not just for ourselves. We're good. Many of us are good, but it's not just us leaving like I'm escaping. No, we're dismantling the false matrix, okay? And we're bringing everybody along for the ride, not just us. Everybody gets to go, okay? So that is our thing. So just remember, check out our calendar of events. We have amazing things this coming Friday. We have our beautiful Lori Spagna. Just check out who she is. And she's going to be at the Cosmic Center on Friday if you're local. But I will be doing a class, as I mentioned. Just check it out. I think I have it like Forbidden Knowledge, Awakening to the Truth. It's some kind of title like that. And that's going to be on May 22nd. That is on our calendar of events. So with that, I'm going to say namaste to our beautiful family of light on Facebook Live. We will see you next time. Namaste.